Hey guys, Esther Mormon here, and I am so excited for the topic of how to attract your ideal client. Now, this is a really hot topic, and honestly, it's something that took me way too long to figure out when I was, kind of navigating my way and figuring out the photography industry and how can I get into wedding photography exactly. And it's just something that has helped me so much by attracting my ideal client, because I don't want to work for everyone, and that is just how it is. So that's how we can take our business from like pretty good to extremely thriving and awesome. So that's why I'm super excited for this topic. It's something I'm really passionate about and something that took me far too long. So that's why I am sharing this knowledge with you, because I don't want you to struggle like I did in the beginning of figuring out like who I want to work for and how can I get more clients, and not just anyone, but how do I get my dream clients. So that's why I'm so excited for this, and we are going to jump in. This is a two-part way of explaining it, because there's two major keys when it comes to attracting your dream clients. And it's like both parts are equally important. So this video is very crucial to the success of your business. And I'm so happy that you're here. So if you don't know me already, I am a photography business coach, and I am helping those who want to level up their business or start their business and get it off the ground and running. So thank you again for being here, and we are going to jump into the topic of attracting our dream clients, because that's what I'm here to do. I want to help you. I want to see your business thriving. I want to see you booking more dream clients. So let's just jump into part one of what we're getting into today. So part one is what we need to do first, and that is to identify exactly who is our dream client. And we need to make like an actual, I want you to like literally name them. Like it's gotta be, we wanna know exactly who our dream client is. And I don't want you to just say, I wanna do weddings, so a bride, because that's not specific enough, and that's not gonna help us with this exercise. So I want you to have a very specific avatar of, this is my dream client, this is who I want to work for, and I want you to name them. So literally, I want you to have your notebook, or maybe you're taking notes on your computer, and you're going to type it out, and I want you to answer the following questions. So I want you to tell me, first of all, what's their name? I want you to tell me, what do they do for work? I want you to tell me their age. Maybe it's a range for an age. I want you to tell me where they live. I want you to tell me their income level. I want you to tell me a little bit about their personality. I want you to tell me what kind of photos they like. I want you to tell me what kind of business style they like. I want you to tell me anything that you can think of that would help it be even more specific, would be extremely helpful for this exercise. So write that all out. Everything under the sun about this specific person. So like I took the time to, for example, like write out, I named mine Rachel, and I said everything about Rachel. So I was like, Rachel is a lawyer. Rachel is a high roller. Rachel likes to spend more to get something that is going to be way better value. Rachel's not looking for a crazy sale. Rachel just wants really good value for the amount she's paying. So she wants to pay a higher price point, and she wants to see what kind of value is going to come with that. So she's okay with paying top dollar. She likes to wear the more expensive brands because they last longer. She likes to tip at her local coffee shop. She likes to support women in business. Rachel does not have kids. She is 30 years old. She's more established, a little bit later in life, and she's engaged, and she is looking for a photographer who is wanting to, is not going to be, that average wedding photo, but she's looking for somebody to wow her. And she loves golden lighting. She loves sunsets. They love to go mountain biking together, her and her fiance. I just made it so specific, and I was like, hey, Rachel is who I'm talking to. And that's how I kind of identified my dream client. And I typed it all out on a Google Doc. I literally had like 2 pages of info. all about Rachel because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be so specific, and I wanted to make sure that my marketing is, I'm not just marketing to anyone out there. I wanted to make sure that it was so specific and tailored to Rachel so that I can pull people in like Rachel. Because a wise man once said this: if you are marketing to everybody, you're marketing to nobody. So that's why it's so important to know exactly who you're marketing to, and that you're not just trying to get everyone to buy your services. No, I don't want that. Like, oh my goodness, no. I am looking for a very specific group of people, because you don't need hundreds and hundreds of clients every year to be successful. That's like, you don't need that. As long as you have enough value and you're pricing yourself well, you can be a 6-figure photographer without having hundreds and hundreds of clients. So narrowing down your niche is so important. And so you have identified your dream client. So that's part 1 that we just went through, is identifying your dream clients. Now, part 2 is is more of the meat, the substance here. So we've done the first task, okay? We've done that, and now we're back and we are working on the second task. Now, the second task is equally as important, and it's definitely meaty and juicy. So with this, the most important thing is that now we've identified, now we need to market to our ideal client, and only our ideal client. That's the important part, only our ideal client. Now, with our ideal clients, we're wanting to speak their language. We're wanting to talk directly to them. So we don't want to be, just kind of like light and fluffy and, saying this and that and the other thing. But we want it to be really intentional and directed towards them. So we want to speak their language. We want to make sure that everything on our Instagram, on our Facebook, on our website, on our Pinterest, everything that we're doing is totally tailored and curated to them. We don't want to make sure that it's tailored to everyone. We want to make sure just to our ideal client that we just identified in our last exercise. And we want to make sure that this is just that we are talking to them. Like for my example, I'm talking to Rachel. I'm only talking to Rachel, and I want to help Rachel solve her problem, which is she's trying to find a photographer who's not typical, who wants to have fun, who takes like pictures that have her being like, oh my goodness, who loves bright and joyful, vibrant photos. Like, that's who I'm trying to talk to, and I want to speak her language. So that's how I'm gonna like really tailor my Instagram captions, my Facebook posts, my website copy, like my sales copy of like the kind of language that I'm using on my website. I just want to make sure that everything that I'm doing all lines up and all brings us back to our ideal client, which is Rachel. And so that's why I really highly recommend that the kind of photos that we're sharing online, like on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Facebook, on your website, that these are pictures that you are most proud of, and pictures of that you want to book more of. So let's say you love shooting at golden hour, but you're sharing a bunch of photos that you just did from a midday session that you just did, and you're like, oh, well, I took these, so I have to post them. No, you don't. You want to make sure that to pull in your dream client, you want to be sharing the kind of photos that you want to take more of. So for me, for example, I love taking golden hour wedding portraits. So I make sure to share a ton of these on my website, Instagram, Facebook, everything that I'm marketing. I want to make sure that I'm sharing tons of these, because I want to shoot more of those, and I want couples who are excited about their golden hour photos, who see photos that they're like, wow, I can see that the couple is literally glowing from the sun, and they want more of those. That's another huge thing of like sharing what you want to book more of. So that's like just a little example there, but I'm going to tell you a quick story here. When I was at my first photography workshop, I was sitting there and I was just dreaming of the day of when I could go full-time photographer. And I'm like, I will do anything to go full-time photographer. How can I do this? And I remember one of the key speakers, and she was saying that you need to share what you want to book more of. And that kind of hit me as like, okay, well, like, what do you mean? And then she said, like, if you are wanting to book more families, great. Post more pictures of families, share more pictures of families, put it on your story, tell people that you're doing that, share those kind of photos. If you want to book weddings, great. Post more pictures of weddings. If you don't have any weddings that you've shot, great. Go create some content with a styled shoot or with a collaboration or second shooting. Get some content of what you want to share. And that really like impacted me. And I sat there on this couch. I remember sitting there with 10 or 12 other creatives while we're at this overnight workshop. And I remember thinking like, okay, that seems so obvious, but at the time it wasn't. So that's why I'm passing this knowledge to you, because that impacted me. And I was like, wow, that is insane that I didn't actually think of that, of like, yeah, that makes sense. Like that is a huge part of getting clients and getting their trust, is if you're sharing what you want to book more of. So for me, it was weddings. I was dreaming of being a full-time wedding photographer. So then I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. So I went out and I was shooting at sunrise. I was editing till the middle of the night. I was second shooting like crazy. I was just creating all this content of stuff that I wanted to book more of. And I tell you, as soon as I started putting that out there, everyone was like, oh my goodness, she does wedding photography, sweet. And I was like super creative at these styled shoots, and I was creating images that really spoke to me and what I wanted to create more of, and the kind of clients that I wanted to work with. So I was like, I want to do like authentic and candid, and where you can feel like photos that feel. So I made sure that I was creating that emotion and creating that connection at these styled shoots that I was doing, because I was like, that's the kind of clients that I want. So I have to make sure that I'm showing up for these styled shoots and I'm mentally on, and I'm like, okay, sweet. You're going to run towards each other. You're going to pick her up. You're going to spin her around, and you haven't seen each other in a year. And I'm creating this emotion. And then that's what I'm sharing online, is because I'm like, that's what I have to do if I want to book these kind of clients. And I tell you, once I started doing that, the snowball effect was happening, and clients were, booking me because they were seeing that, for one, I know my stuff. I know my niche. I know what I want to get into. And for two, I was directly talking to them. So I was talking to the Rachel brides. And then the Rachel brides started to book me instead of the moms on Facebook who are looking for the absolute cheapest photographer to do their family portraits. And I was getting so many of those inquiries, and there's like nothing against people who are wanting affordable family photos. That's awesome. And I know so many photographers who cater to that and who want to take on lots of clients and do, more like minimal editing and a little bit less in the workflow side of things, so that they're still having some profit, but they want to make themselves available to more clients who are looking for more affordable rates. And that's awesome. That's not my niche, but that's awesome that I know like a lot of people are doing that. And so I'm not trying to bash them. I'm just saying that wasn't my niche, and I knew that. I don't love shooting families, and I knew that I wasn't the person who can help someone if they're looking for they're on a bit more of a tight budget and they're looking for a very specific price point. I knew that I wouldn't be able to fulfill those needs, but I knew who I wanted to serve, and we are all called to serve a certain group of people. So why I'm telling you this is because you have been called to serve a certain group of people, and we got to figure that out of who that is. Are they, who are they? We got to figure that out. And that's why this video is so important, to identify and then speak to them. So that's going to help you out tremendously once we do these two things and we implement that into your business. And then you're going to start seeing these dream clients rolling in, and you're like, this is sweet. Like, I am actually booking the kind of people I want to book, because there's nothing more frustrating than when you are sitting there getting these inquiries and you're just like, oh, like I know this is not what I want to do, or who I want to be shooting, or the kind of people I want to be working with. And trust me, I've been there. I remember specifically sitting in this chair 4 years ago, and I'm 2 years into my business, and I'm just thinking like, okay, I'm getting clients, I am getting revenue, but I'm not like, I wasn't stoked about it. And I was finally able to figure out why. And I'm like, okay, why am I not stoked about this? Because I'm not serving the group of people that I want to be serving. And the problem is that it took me 2 years to figure that out, but I'm glad I identified it then. And when I identified it, I was like, okay, how can I fix this problem? So that's when I started marketing to just a very specific group of people. And that just changed my business tremendously. So that's why I'm sharing this nugget of knowledge with you. Not even a nugget, a gold mine. But anyway, those are the two things. So to recap, We talked about identifying your ideal client and being really specific, answer the questions that I told you, and then speaking directly to them so that you are speaking to the group of people that you've been called to serve. So that's what we've got, and I can't wait to see you go implement this into your business. And thank you again for being here. It means so much to me that you're here and here to listen and learn from me, and I can't wait to have you, joining in the future for more events and videos and more knowledge, because I love helping photographers get their business to where they want to be and be that profitable photographer that you always dreamed of. So let's go full-time photographer, and I will see you next time.